This is just another Datapack showcase. Today I will be showcasing the hardcore enforcement for Datapacks. It's a little data pack I threw together to, as it says, enforce hardcore behavior alongside Datapacks that add custom items that require commands like the slash give or do custom XP rewards. Those kinds of things. This was built around the idea of my compound bow data pack. I wanted something that I can throw into a world with that, so that I can still use my compound bow, but there's hardcore restrictions to it. So if I died for good, and I if I ever tried to go to creative, it would force me back to survival. So we're gonna delete that one. That was the original one I did, but I forgot to enable my microphone again. So we're gonna create a new world. We're gonna give it that same name as the one I deleted. Hardcore test for YT. We're gonna start it in creative, so commands is on and everything. Difficulty is set to peaceful. We're just doing this to showcase all the features from the data pack. We'll do a random world seed, and then we'll throw in the data packs. Open data pack folder. Throw in this guy here. Is it not copied to my thing? Here. I can fix that. Copy. And then we'll go back to the data packs folder. Excuse me. I don't see it. There we go. There we go. Data pack is there. Now it is saying data packing compatibility. That's just because I'm on the current snapshot, or the current latest snapshot that adds the happy guest. So we're going to go ahead and do that anyway. It will still work. Okay. And then hit done. And we're going to go back to here. So we see that, like I said, game mode is set to creative, so all those commands are enabled. Difficulty is set to peaceful to just demonstrate another feature of it. So if we hit create world, I should start in creative. But watch what happens because of the data pack. So here I am in my new world. Oh no, I'm not in creative, I'm in survival. And what's this? We set the difficulty to peaceful? Well, if I go here, difficulty is set to hard. What's with that? I want it to be peaceful. Yeah, we're in peaceful now, right? Oh no, it's set to hard. So every tick, the game mode gets hard set to hard. So there's no way around that. And so I started in creative, but I'm in survival. So if I type in game mode creative, I get immediately put back in survival. So this data pack is centered around, this is you and your friends group SMP server, and you have a data pack that adds custom items that in order to get it, you need access to the slash give command, or in my compound bow scenario, for the projectile, I do a summon command for an interaction that represents the projectile, and without access to the /summon command, it wouldn't be able to run. And you can't use the /summon command under basic permissions that gets automatically set. You have to allow commands or enable cheats in order to run that command. So this will allow me to use the compound bow data pack and do this same kind of rule enforcement. Now, the other feature of it is the hardcore enforcement. So if I die, I'm going to keep being forced to spectator mode. So if I do /kill, it'll send me to spectator mode. Oh wow, guys, I'm in spectator. And then as an added protection, obviously the score is going to be called like deaths or death count. For mine, I just used deaths. So if I do /player scoreboard players set at s deaths 0, you think my deaths would be set to 0. I could use the /game mode survival command, but you can't cheat death. And if I try to do /survival or /game mode survival, I get sent back to spectator mode. So there's a couple of different scoreboards that are at play here that actually enforce that. So if we do scoreboard players list at s, which is me, I am MC Ninja 38, but I'm using at s to specify the executing entity. I have deaths 1, deaths pre 1, and deaths delta 0. So deaths is the raw count from the death counter, except for after you attempt to do the cheat. Well, technically not, because you can't undo the cheat. So, but it gets pulled from the raw thing within Minecraft's statistics logic. Deaths previous, that's the previous death count. That's checked every tick. And then deaths delta, that is the difference between the two. So if I ever try to modify deaths delta gets set to -1 because deaths is 0 and deaths delta is like the template. So the reason why deaths delta is 0 is because it's always being compared to deaths prev and then being reset. So if you ever set deaths to 0, then deaths delta becomes 0 without modifying deaths directly. And then it gets compared to deaths prev. And the only scenario is that deaths delta minus deaths prev would be -1 if you try to set deaths to 0. Although I just thought, what if someone does this? I should do... I think I just found a flaw. Hold on. Scoreboard. Players set at s. Deaths. Hang on. So if we do I mean, I took damage, but I just found a flaw. Oh, oh no. Oh no, 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 no. So we're gonna fix this. We are definitely gonna fix this. And to do that, I am going to go into here. New window. File. Open recent. Hardcore for Datapacks. Here we go. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and share this so you can see me troubleshooting. And I can kind of explain what I've got going on here. So if I do up, add a source, window capture, we're gonna do VS Code. Okay. Okay. All right. So you guys can see my window in Visual Studio Code. And the flaw I just found is with the anti-cheat check. So here, execute as at s if score at s death delta matches -1. It does the function hardcore anti-cheat.exe, which is this here. The problem that I just showed is that if it's more than -1, if death's delta is more than or actually technically less than -1, then it completely breaks the thing. So here's how this works. Obviously, first thing is the anti-cheat, which is this guy here that we're gonna fix. Anti-cheat exe is the actual execution if cheating is detected using schoolboard overrides. Go to tick.mc function, deaths equals 1 or above for spectator. That's this guy here, and it's a very simple command. And then execute as at a game mode equals creative run function hardcore for survival. That's this one here. So that's this one here. So that's the one that forces survival mode. And then last thing is difficulty hard. That's what automatically keeps resetting difficulty to hard if it's ever changed to like peaceful, easy, or normal. Because it's supposed to be a hardcore. Now to implement the fix here, we are going to go to anti-cheat and change this line here. So it needs to change from this to execute as at s bracket scores equals curly deaths delta equals dot dot -1. So now it will execute if the death delta is at least -1. So meaning with what I just did there, it would still run, and then anti-cheat exe would automatically force your death count to 1. So we'll go ahead and package this up and do it again. So go. Open that window. Hit delete. Package it again. Press 2. Zip file. Hardcore for Datapacks. Not Datapacks, Datapacks. Rename. Datapacks. Okay, and then we'll copy that to our world. Copy. Find it in the folder. Go. Minecraft saves hardcore test for YT. Datapacks. Delete the old. Oh, am I still in the world on here? I am. Okay, try again. Then we'll go back to it. Go. That's hardcore Datapack test. That's not the one we want. We want hardcore Datapacks. Hardcore test for YT. Here we go. Okay, now the new one is in there. We're going to go back. Hit reload. And technically, because of that, I need to die twice. So /kill. Okay. And /kill. Okay. Now I'm back in spectator. So if I attempt that same thing again. Oh, hold on. Let me get fixed on here. I'm gonna hide that window. There we go. So I'm back in spectator mode. I killed myself twice to clear that thing that shouldn't happen anymore because of my fix. So basically, I did like I showed you guys. I did this. So scoreboard player set at s that's -1, which made the Datapack or made the death delta -2. So now if I run this, it should trigger the anti-cheat again. Perfect. And if we do, yep, perfect. And just to show the extreme this can go to, let's go as far as Minecraft will let us, which is apparently what is this? 1,000 million, 100, -100 million. You can't cheat death. So if I ran that, and I didn't have the new safety that I put in place there, then I would have essentially had 100,001 lives before death caught me. But because I have that now, Not even with 100,000, negative 100,000. All right, so I mean that's pretty much it for the showcase. You guys got to also see bug fix pre-release because technically this video will be coming out. Um, this video will be coming out alongside the actual release on Planet Minecraft, um, and this is before the official release of the data pack. Like I haven't released the data pack on Planet Minecraft yet, at least at the time of recording. Um, yeah, so very useful for friend group SMP servers, whether you're port forwarding it or you actually have a dedicated server that you pay for to have it run 24/7. If you plan to do like any sort of server management kind of stuff, I guess, then make sure you either do it before putting the data pack in or take the data pack out while the server's down for maintenance, whatever you need to do. Or I can make a version specifically tailored to those who need access to creative mode for designing and such, like for server management. But I mean, this is the current form for it. This is how it will be released. If you need that kind of version, um, let me know. I'll have my Discord on the PMC page, and I'll also be looking at comments if you put the request in the comments. That's going to do it for the showcase. I will see you guys later.